You are live. You are live. You are live. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to each one of you, no matter where you're tuning in from around the world. I always say good morning, afternoon, and evening because I'm not really sure where you might be located as you watch me live today. Today is an unusual and different day for me because many of you all know that I've been in and out of my office for the last month almost with my family in Warren, Ohio, and we eulogized my brother-in-law. And then a week or so later, my sister-in-law, my wife's sister, we returned home from the Warren, Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio area last Sunday night, and went right back to work. Then on Wednesday morning, everybody, I received a call from one of my brothers in community networking, Brother Gary Wyatt, who called to inform me that our mentor, our friend, and our brother, Mr. Robert Woodson Sr., had passed away. And so today is designed to just honor him in any way possible, every way possible. And I know for a fact there's never going to be enough words that I can say to honor a man like him in his statue. I can see Brother Mark, I think you're coming on. There are a couple people that may be on live with me on Facebook. If you are, I want to welcome you and thank you for joining me live on Facebook if you're there. I'm not necessarily able to see you live right now. I have a couple posts there. I'm trying to link everything: Facebook, my Zoom. Uh, it's showing last week's Zoom. So if you hear anything going on, that's probably why. Uh, um, but I do want to let everybody, Brother Mark, is with me. God bless you. Thank you. Blessed Friday to you. It is still, thank God, it's fundraising Friday. That's never going to change, Mark. But as you know, as we talked on Wednesday, right after we completed our 1 minute prayer live, I received this phone call from, again, my dear friend. So I did send you what I'm going to talk about today. If you know, necessarily, there's a couple things that I would post it, but I have to just talk about Brother Woodson today, um, and encourage and pray for the friends that are part of the community affiliate network all over the country and even in the world. We have people in different parts of the world that are part of the CAN. We call it the CAN network, Community Affiliate Network, led by Kamara Berry and Charles Perry and Trinity Lee and all. I know I'm going to leave out names, but first and most of all, his daughter, Tanya. Um, all leaders, Sister Hattie, who's been there as long as I've known Mr. Woodson, his wonderful wife, Ellen, and our new president, officially, Mr. Will Crosley, from the Jackson, Mississippi area, will be taking over immediately now, which was supposed to take place officially July 15th in that area. Mr. Woodson was supposed to become the president emeritus at that point in time, and God saw fit to honor. One of the things that I'll talk about it again in a minute, but one of those things that Mr. Woodson has always taught us, and Trinity posted something in our post on the CAN Network page, how Mr. Woodson would always drop one-liners to us. And the one that me and Gary had talked about and laughed about all week long. And it's interesting, Brother Gary Wyatt out of um, Akron, Ohio. We talked this week a couple of times about going to DC and spending some time with Mr. Woodson, not knowing that this was going to happen. But we talk often about how he and I both retired from our day-to-day job in the past. And Mr. Woodson always taught us that you will retire from your job, but expire from your calling. And God did just that for him, which is so awesome. because this is the kind of man, 89 years old, just turned 89 April the 8th, I believe it was. And he lived everything he taught us. Many people talk a good game and live another, but legitimately, y'all, Mr. Woodson lived what he taught us. And even in his expiring, he lived out what he taught us. He expired, he retired from working 9 to 5 and working in the community in the way that he did. But when God called him, he expired from his calling, and he left all of that left for us to do. And I don't take that lightly. 30 years, almost 30 years that I've been a part of the Woodson community. I haven't even counted it, but I know I started. My first funding opportunity was, I believe, in the year 2002. I'm sorry. So however many that year that is, 24, 25 years. 2000, I met him in the late 1900s. Excuse me, like 1998, and then began to do some things. And somewhere around 2000, and I know my largest funding opportunity came in like 2002 when we transitioned from the GT Community Empowerment Organization, which was a part of a church nonprofit, and then we developed our own, which became the Center for Community Empowerment, all in Youngstown, Ohio. And we got funded to take that leap of faith and began doing our work there. Mr. Woodson and his team started mentoring us one-on-one, sending people to our location. The team, we would become a part of a group, violence-free zone, those individuals. There's a lot of things that we have been a part of down through the years, but it's been that long. I mean, 28 years of being a part of the Woodson Center organization, even when it was the Center for Neighborhood Enterprise and then transitioned into the Woodson. I hope you guys can hear me well, Mark, because I don't have a lot of loudness today. What I have is the opportunity to spend time with this gentleman. And so that's why today's conversation really is to honor the legacy of Dr. Robert Bob Woodson Sr., a mentor, a builder, a voice in the community for transformation. And so I want to take a moment today, not as a fundraiser, not as a leader, but as someone who was personally impacted by this great man. Like I say, he was a mentor. He was a teacher. This one is real, y'all. He was a truth teller. He laid it out. No matter who he was talking to, conservatives, Democrats, liberals, leaders in the government, and believe me, as long as I've known him, he's had some kind of impact on the presidents, the vice presidents, Secretary of State when uh, we were even invited to things like that he would bring together all of us leaders, and we would meet with these pharaohs. I don't have the book in front of me. That one, the Triumphs of Joseph, but was the first book I read of his was the Triumphs of Joseph. And I pray that you all can get it. You can go to Amazon and get the book. Yes, I'm advocating getting his book, because if you're a community leader, if you're an organization, you want this information from a man who deposited wealth into all of us. And in the book Triumph of Joseph, he talked about the biblical principle of how Joseph was awarded the funds needed to go take care of Israel, his family. And that was his whole principle. That's how he began with us, receiving funds from pharaohs. And he allowed us to meet pharaohs and share our stories and our community healing with these pharaohs. And he would get funds and manage them for us. And then watch this, y'all, teach us how to manage those funds so that we can provide the services that we needed to provide for the community that God had called us to. And many of you all know me, because that's really what I try to do with Kingdom Fundraisers, is to teach you all how to do what Mr. Woodson teaches me to do, and I plan on continuing that for as long as I can. Hello, somebody. And so, for many of us in the CAN network and beyond, Mr. Woodson, y'all, was not just a national leader. He was someone who challenged us to think differently about communities, leadership, poverty, responsibility, and even transformation. He believed that solutions already existed inside the community because he taught us don't just study the problem, but find the people already solving them. One of the things that I respect most about Mr. Woodson was that he believed in grassroots leaders. He believed in neighborhood healers, faith-based organizations, local leaders, community builders, people who may never make headlines, but those folks were doing the real work in every single day, in every single life that they touched. And I just wanted to publicly say, hallelujah. Thank you, Mr. Woodson. Thank you for your wisdom. Thank you for your courage. Thank you for your honesty. Thank you for your leadership and for your belief in people, and especially your belief in me. Your work changed lives. It changed mine, but I also know it changed so many others. Your voice challenged systems. Your legacy will continue, Mr. Woodson. And as we honor your legacy today, one thing, or should I just say it this way? I think one of the greatest ways that we can honor you is not just with words, but it's with action. Mr. Woodson taught us principles that every nonprofit, every ministry, every community leader, I believe, should remember. And they're in, I'm going to show it, they're in this book. You can see it. Well, I hope you can see it. It's in this book. This is a powerful book, y'all. The lessons from the least of these, and I'm honored to be listed in one of the final pages of the book. But Mr. Woodson, he taught us in this book principles. And this is what we work with. All of us in the Woodson, in the CAN network, we work by these principles. And I want to share them with you for a minute today. The principles you can find them in the book. I don't have time to break them down, but even when we teach, we're expanding the Woodson curriculum. And if you don't know much about it, go to the Woodson Center website, woodsoncenter.org, and you can download the book. You can get the principles. You can get the curriculum. But here's what we teach. The Woodson, the enterprise, the principles of the enterprise include competence, integrity, transparency, resilience, witness, innovation, inspiration, agency, access, and last but not least, grace. And my friends, these principles were distilled from nearly 40 years of hands-on experience with grassroots leaders embedded in communities that's facing social struggles, economic hardships, and spiritual challenges. And these were not just theories to Mr. Woodson, these were life, these were real. These principles came from real neighborhoods, from people he met and dealt with every day, real people. He saw real pain, and these came from the pain that we all have shared with him. Real transformation, seeing life change. And when you go to see his stories and read his epitaph, you'll know that this man literally made a difference. I've seen a lot of people talk a good game. This man truly lived it. And that's why I honor him. I'm sorry, I can't help it. All right. And honestly, that's why conversations like this matter so much, because Mr. Woodson taught us something powerful. Real transformation requires structure. It requires leadership. It requires sustainability. always talk about sustainability, don't I? It requires people who are committed to building, not just reacting. And that's a lot of what we've been talking about these past few months right here in Kingdom Fundraisers, right? This is one of the ways that I intend to honor and continue Mr. Woodson's legacy work, his legacy and his work in the community that I serve. Rather, it's serving you, those of I serve in Ohio, those here in Florida, those in Georgia, those in Tennessee, those in Chicago or the Chicago area, Illinois, and even those of you on the West Coast in LA and in Oregon or in the state of Washington, and even in Arizona, wherever you might be. We intend to continue this legacy and work in the community by serving you like he served us. Not only through fundraising conversations, y'all, but by helping you become stronger, become sustainable, become structured, and become rooted in community transformation. And because we're not just trying to raise money for everybody, we're trying to build organizations that last. Huh? One of the things that I especially excited about bringing you portions of the Woodson curriculum, teaching principles into our church here, our local development of conversations with you. Some of these things we're going to be working with and teaching and ready, embedding them in kingdom fundraising, because if we're going to build communities, I had someone ask me today, as a matter of fact, about how to get a grant for specific things. I wanted you to know most of the fundraising principles that we work with is to help serve people. We want to help you raise funds to help people, not necessarily ourselves. Hello, somebody. So, because these teachings are not only important to nonprofits, y'all, they're important to families, they're important to ministries, they're important to young leaders. We need to be developing new leaders today. They're important to neighborhoods, and they're important to our community as a whole. We need leaders with integrity. Come on, somebody. We need leaders with competence, resilience, and with vision. And I believe that these principles can help us build stronger people, not just bigger organizations. And that's why here at Kingdom Fundraisers, we've been building something intentionally together. Think about it. From January to now, we've talked about foundation, follow-up, momentum, action. Here we are in May, and I called it last week our momentum month, focused on momentum with the movement in the month of May. Because vision without movement changes nothing, all of these conversations have really been preparing us for what's next. Because many organizations don't have funding problems, y'all. We have a fundability problem. We are not organized, and that's why things don't work. Yeah, we're doing good work, but they're not positioned correctly. And so I need to transition as I pull out. That's why I'm working on this training, Fundraising Made Simple, how to build a fundable organization in 90 days. You're going to hear more about that. We were scheduled to launch that next Wednesday. I've decided to pull back and wait until we've had the opportunity to go to Washington, D.C. And say I'll see you later to Mr. Woodson. I need to be in a way for some of that. And so thanks, Mark. He's been posting right here for us to see. I see that. I see that. I see that. He repeated what I said. We're building something intentionally together. This is not, those have known me for these past 4 or 5 years that we've been doing this. Y'all know by now I'm just doing this for the fun of it. Many of the people I'm working with, they don't have a funding problem. They do have a fundable problem. The organization is not fundable because they're not qualified in the right way. Today, working with an organization out of Lorain, Ohio, gave them a roadmap on what we need to do to be funded. Yesterday, with the organization out of Chicago, Illinois, same thing. We gave them what they need to be fundable. The new gentleman that asked me about some things for their church today, I shared with him some things that need to happen for you to be fundable. Yes, faith-based organizations can be funded for what they need, but you have to have your act together. And that's what Mr. Woodson taught us. And down through all these 25, 30 years. And believe me, y'all, I've fallen short sometimes. I've dropped the ball. I've made some mistakes. We all are. We all do. But we learn from them. And we take the next step. And so one of our commitments to you is to work harder, smarter, to be more wise with the resources that God has given us. I'm committed to be a part of the Woodson Center from now on, for life. I'm there. I'm one of those individuals that I don't run away from stuff. Mr. Crosley, President Crosley, will need our support and our prayers. I'm honored to be one of our prayer leaders with the organization. When we close out a lot of our meetings, I'm called on to lead in prayer, even when we're public together, session together. That's humbling for me. And many individuals have reached out to me personally to even say they give condolences to me. And that's honorable because, like they said, many of that I've helped them become a part of this organization know my relationship with Mr. Woodson and the family. There was a season when one of the members of my church in Ohio was overseas, and his daughter, who lives in Costa Rica, was able to help them over there when we had members doing mission work and they had a problem. Our relationship with Mr. Woodson was, hey, Mr. Woodson, hey, Bob, who do you know? No. He made a call to his daughter. His daughter made some call there, and they got help. That's the way this network has always worked. We know and have people all over the place that we can call upon. There's a need. Listen, community leaders, if you are part of the Kingdom Fundraising Network, make yourself available to other people because we are stronger together. And that's what we are as a part of the Woodson Can community, this powerful network. We are definitely stronger together. So today, I simply wanted to honor a man who helped shape so many leaders across this country. Again, he's a leader. I'll say it one more time. A leader, a mentor, a builder, a voice of truth, and my friend. And we pray for his family, the Woodson Center as a whole, the CAN network, and every life that he has impacted. In one of his statements, I said, Brother Gary has said it at the beginning. One of his statements that will always stay with me is this: we retire from our jobs, but we expire from our calling. And Mr. Woodson fulfilled his calling until the very end. Thank you, Mr. Woodson. Your work lives on. And here at Kingdom Fundraisers, we will continue building communities that last. This is Pastor Willie, y'all. Let's go to work.